Hello, good morning. So I was just checking out our outfits today. My name is Lauren.
My name is Ian.
And together we are Bars Bells. This morning we're at a restore and recharge class where we'll get our body moving and maybe our brain and mouth connection will also
That mind-body connection. Always trying to coordinate our own outfits, but not necessarily with each other, because we get told through the chat feature that, hey, you're matchy-matchy. So use that chat feature, ask questions, or send us an email about today's practice. First, let's start with the head, neck, the rib cage, the hips, and then Lauren will take it over with the feet. Open up your stance, squat, stance, or similar. Hands wherever you wish, maybe at your sides. At the head, neck, slide a little left and right. Then grow tall and pull down. Then let's draw a Ferris wheel or a circle with midnight at the top, 6 o'clock at the bottom. Pull the crown high, reaching towards 6 o'clock. Then slide to the right, clockwise if you are, and pull the head down. Then very slowly here, go up and over, go one more time in that same direction. Does it sound like Rice Krispies? Soggy Rice Krispies are better. Groove out those movements. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So that's up and over to the counterclockwise left. Pull the head down. Move across. Up and over without lifting the shoulders. And last one here, to the left, to the down, to the side. Finish up. Little wiggle. Pretty darn subtle up top here. It might be a little more obvious in the rib cage here. Start with the hands across the chest. Lift up. Stay over the rib cage, over those hips. Then slide to the right. Then pull the rib cage onto the hips. Test your abs. Are they on? Use the ribs to move the ribs by using the core to stabilize and mobilize. One more time in that same direction. Reach out. Pull down. Slide across. Lift up without losing the shoulder shrug to center. Then up and over counterclockwise if you go to the left. Then pull down. Slide across. Up and over without losing those shoulder shrugs. Over again, one more. Without shrugging, rather. Then pull down. Slide across. Lift up. Return to center. And wiggle. Lastly, similar actions in the hips. For that, pull yourself down to a moderate squat. Nothing too low here. Now, hike a hip over here. Pull it over there.
What?
Push it down. We're drawing that same circle in those hips. Pull. Lift up. Slide across. Pull down. Do you feel those femur heads in those hips either move or are they stiff like concrete? I'm switching my direction now as I go here, there, over to the side, up, over. Last one or two. Are those quads saying hello? Are those hips saying, hey, how are ya? Then push through to tall. Return your feet to the center. Lauren will take it over with our foot warm-up.
Excellent. Standing with your feet underneath you, point a leg just in front of you, not too far. Toe, ball, heel, land. With straight legs right now, pull the floor together underneath you, feeling that tension and pushing your hips forward a little bit. Now pull so much on that front leg, you pull your foot up to that demi point or ball of foot position. Then from here, use your toes to get to that full point. Then come back down to that demi point. Heel connects and feel that pull. This time you're going to pull so much you'll pull your weight off of your back leg to that demi point position. You'll use your toes to point on that back foot. And then it'll be toe ball connect, heel as you push forward to go back. Now let's add on. Let's pull so much we pull that front leg off to that demi point again. Then use your toes to point. Now from there, could you flex over those toes? A little harder when they're further away from you. Then use the toes to push into the floor to get back to pointy point. Then ball of foot, heel connects as that hip pulls and you pull yourself forward again, gently bending that back foot. Then get to the balls of the feet, knee and ankle pointing forward. Roll over the toes of the back foot. Oh yeah, that's nice. Then roll to the point, demi point. Heel goes down as that hip extends. Point to that front leg, pull it underneath. Repeat on the other side. Point the other leg out. Toe ball, heel, land. Before you go anywhere, straight legs, scissor your legs or your hips together. Scissor. Pushing the back hip forward, the front hip in. Then peel with tension that front foot off the floor to that ball of foot toe. Use your toes to get to point. Then come back down through the foot. Heel connects. You'll start pulling on that front leg so that your back heel comes off the floor to that demi-point again. Then use the toes to do your gentle point. And then back through demi-point. Heel connects. Keep that tension on the front leg. Peel the heel away. Point the toes. Gently flex over those toes. Then use the toes to push into the floor to point. Demi, heel comes down. Pull on the floor to transfer that weight to that back foot. Point. Then point. Then flex over those toes. Push the toes into the floor as best you can to get back to the point. Through the foot. Heel connects. We'll point that front leg and pull it underneath. Before we do any more, let's just do a couple knees towards over toes, hanging out, shifting weight a little side to side. Feels so good. Push into the floor, extend those hips forward. Repeat again, knees towards over toes. This time, could you peel the heels up off the floor, trying to stay the same height? And then stay the same height and push the heels down. Pushing the hips forward. Grow to find one balance up here. Nice straight knees. Knees stay straight as you descend. And one last time, knees towards over toes. Heels will peel up off the floor. Push into the floor to grow up. Keep the knees straight as you slowly descend. And then
The wiggles.
shake.
Shake out
And
with
wiggle.
those wiggles. Checking out with the feet, we have our horse walks. Assemble your feet in our parallel position. Then pivot on the heels to turn out to a similar position like first. Then pull yourself low to our first squat. There will be a weight shift. Shift weight over one leg, and then point the other leg out front. Place the full foot down. The heel of that leg could be in line with the toe on the other side. Then pull ourselves across. Pull and push. Keep contact with the floor as you then pull back to that plie position. Then reach out to the front and pull, followed by the push, that bent leg to stiffen or straighten out the back. Are those hips level? Keep that awareness building throughout as we pull underneath, reach out to the side, toe ball heel, pull ourselves across, pushing. Again, underneath to firsts, out to the side, pull, followed by our push. One more each, in to first, out to the side, pull across, followed by a push, and last time in. Then point, then pull. Return to that first position and press away to stand tall. Love a close up there, running out of space. Shake it out.
Excellent.
Lauren will take it over.
In between those horse walks, we're going to fold a little bit.
Nice.
Let's start with a forward fold. Feet underneath you. Head gently reaches up towards the ceiling. Then the chin is going to tuck towards the chest. And then we're going to start to round that upper back. But as we round that upper back, pull your blades together so that you're rounding your spine, not just rolling your shoulders forward. Keep your blades together as you slowly flex. This might cause you to have T-Rex arms where your elbows stay bent. That's okay. End up in your telephone booth. Wall behind you, wall in front of you. From here, are your blades still pulling together? Maybe your arms go a little bit, but try not to let those shoulders fully round. Breathe. Straighten those knees. Shift your weight more to the ball than the toes of your feet. Breathe again, straighten your knees.
My calves burn when I do that.
Ooh. Then, that was my sympathy. You engage your core on the front and the back of your spine. Start by stacking. It'll be your tailbone, and then that low back, and then that upper back, and then head is last to stack. Take a second. Shake it out.
Shake it out.
Be a
We'll go
horse.
one more time on the horse walk. This time, we'll try it backwards. Pull ourselves low to that squat, and now reach slightly behind. Then push from the front leg to accept the leg on the back, and then pull back to that first position. From here, reach on that diagonal to the back corner, toe, ball, heel, accepting that load. Both legs go through that bending series, then a bend to stiffen, and pull back under to first. Same idea here, reach out to the side. Toe, ball, heel, pull, push, return to our plie stance, and then out to the back again. Pull ourselves across. I wish I had socks. I'm sticking on the floor just a little bit. One last time here, back corner. Pull, push, plie shape, 2 feet underneath the hips. And last time to the back here, pull, push, plie shape, and press to tall. I love that horse stance walk, fires up those hips. And again, try to stay low, level on the horizon. Fold it up, Lauren. Take us to the floor.
We did our fold last time. This time, we're going to hinge. And we're not actually going to the floor, but we'll hinge. So with our feet slightly wider than our hips, we'll chop those hips back, tilting the tailbone towards the ceiling, soft bend in the knees. As your hips go back, your shins should stay vertical. Our toes are heavy in the floor, including your baby toe. Look at it. Put it down. Stay there. Now, lift your tailbone or slightly tilt your tailbone towards the ceiling and lift your hips about 1 centimeter more in the air. Feel how that load increases on your hamstring. Drop your hips again. Retilt the tailbone to the ceiling. Try to lift a little bit more in the air. It'll make your shins more vertical or your baby toe is still heavy. One more time, drop your hips. Tilt your tailbone to the ceiling. Lift them a little bit more, wearing that load on hammies. Then start pushing down and out on the floor, engaging your glutes, driving your hips forward as you come to full stand. Woo. Shake that out.
Woo is right. Smiley face, hello, how are you today? Thank you for joining. Lauren is grabbing that balance aid off to the side. Counters, chairs, or stable partners will do just fine. Here, we have our bar on the wall. Take it away, Lauren, with those hips, and I'll take care of the shoulders.
2 ball and socket joints, how convenient. Standing tall on that inside leg, your hips is that bowl of punch. Let's keep that punch level this whole time. Take your leg to the front. Gently externally rotate it, inseam up. Then bring it back to center and rotate it in, internal rotation. Repeat again. Externally rotate, inseam towards the ceiling, and then internally rotate, hiding it. One last time, ending with that external rotation, and then sending the legs to the side, keeping the hips level. In that side position, same idea. Rotate the femur bone in. Then rotate it open. I'm kind of pivoting on my big toe here. Rotate it in, keep the punch bowl level. Rotate it open. One last time, end in. And we'll complete the circle out the back. Right out the back, let's have that pointed foot, the hips square forward. Can you straighten your knee? Woo. Then flex the foot, pulling it towards your shin. Can you straighten your knee? And then keep it straight as that leg comes underneath you. We'll do 1 to the back. Reach long out the back. Keep your flexed foot for now. Then rotate the femur in the socket, keeping the hips level. The leg will come to the side. You'll end up with that pointed foot. Let's just hold it here for a second. So nice straight leg. Hold it, shooting energy out the tip of it through the floor on a 45-degree angle. So much so that leg might lift off the floor and hover, engaging that glute for 3, 2. Now keep it hovered off the floor as it comes around to the front, and then pulls with a straight leg underneath. Now here, just feel that light hover off the floor of the leg you just moved, and feel how that inside leg is stacked. And right now it's probably burning, and you're still holding for 3, 2, and then gently relax. Whoa. Switch sides.
Whoa.
Whoa. Let's do the same thing
side.
on the other side. So standing tall on that inside leg, we'll point the outside leg to the front, and we'll do those ins and outs first. Point to the front. Gently externally rotate that inseam up towards the sky. Keep the hips level, hide the inseam, or internally rotate the femur. One more time each way. Open up, keep the knee as straight as possible. Internally rotate. And then last one, open up. Send the leg to the side, hips push forward. In that side position there, we'll do the same thing. Inseam down, inseam open, inseam down, and then open, and then finishing with it, hiding our internal rotation, completing the circle out the back. Here we worked on keeping our knees straight, but our core braced. Then flex the foot and try to straighten the knee while it's behind you. Pull the leg underneath, staying tall. To the back, reach long out the back. Rotate the leg in its socket. The leg will come to the side of the body here. And here's where we held this position. We straightened that leg, and then we tried to lift it from the cheek. And it doesn't have to be high in order to engage that glute. Make sure it's lifting from your glute and not that hip flexor. Continue drawing the circle around the front, and then grow underneath. Stay with that other leg slightly hovered off the floor in that standing position. Feel that inside leg work for stability for 3, 2, and then gently relax. Shake it out.
Lauren alluded to those balls and socket joints down low. The other are the shoulders. So let's start with the shoulder blades very quickly. Arms down at your hips, low effort in the shoulders, elevate or shrug, then pull down. Repeat again. Low effort up, low effort down. And the arms can stay at the side of the body or out front as well. And with the palms facing forward, protract the shoulders, meaning reaching forward through the armpits. It keeps the spine or the rib cage long or extended. And then retract. Pull those shoulder blades together. Repeat one more time of reaching out front. Shoulder blades are spreading or wrapping around the rib cage. And finish in the retraction and relax that effort with the palms forward. A little shake.
Palms facing each other.
Facing forward. From here, elevate the shoulders as a shrug. Let's let that up shape win, but try to touch the floor. Your elbows probably stiffen. You might feel them drawing into the rib cage. Let the elevators of the shoulders win in the shrug, but try to reach down. And then relax. Let's do the opposite. Now drive down towards the floor, fingertips long and tight together. Now let that down shape win like you're holding 10,000 pounds, but try to lightly at first elevate or shrug the shoulder. We don't want huge ranges, but instead just match that tension of reaching down with that effort to shrug up and relax. Let's do that same effort with the arms out front. Slightly flex, meaning towards overhead here, or chest height. And as Lauren said, palms facing each other or turned up. At the shoulder blades, reach forward, protracting the shoulder. Let that protracting round shape win, but try with safely all your might here to pull your shoulder blades together. But let the hands stay out front. Pull and relax. Lastly, retract those shoulder blades as if to squeeze a pencil between them and hold on to that pencil or $1 million bill and then try to reach forward, but let those retractors between those blades win for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and relax with a shake. Build that tension for the shoulder blade to stabilize the movements as we explore other movements through the shoulders. Hips. Again.
The clouds are moving really fast outside today.
Ooh,
it's windy.
I know, it's changing to the seasons here.
Bend leg, hips. Same rules apply. Tall on the inside leg, bowl punch, hips. Peel your foot up off the floor. Knee to the front and underneath you. From here, let's send the knee to the side. Keep the foot connected to the other leg. Hips stay pushing forward. Use that adductor to pull back to center. Repeat again. Leg opens to the side. Hold for a second, pull back to center. One last time, are you still tall on that inside standing leg? Or have you gotten lazy and you're dumping out there? Pop that in, hold tall, Bring the knee back to center. Keep the leg bent, brushing it back underneath you. From that parallel position, hips stay level. Rotate the leg open. Foot will come back under to that number 4 position. Adduct or pull that leg back to center. Repeat 2 more times. Brush through parallel. Rotate open. Imagining that wall is right in front of you and you're trying to get the knee to the side of your body as much as you can. Pull to center. One last time, brushing back behind you. Rotating open in the socket, sending that knee to the side, keeping the hips level. Finishing pulling the knee to the front, brushing back underneath, and then straightening the leg. That other leg working hard. Take your time, finish up. Let's switch sides.
Every time Lauren said, "Is that standing leg working?" I squeezed my bum just a little bit extra. And there was more work, but also more stability. So
yes.
Thank you for those cues.
Stability, mobility. Feel that outside leg peel off the floor, knee comes to the front, foot stays underneath the body. Hips remain level, send the knee to the side. And then adductor strength, use that to pull it back to center. Repeat 2 more times. Pry it open, feeling that glute butt cheek work on that standing leg. On the moving leg, but also on the standing leg. Adductor back to center. One last time, pry the leg open, knee side. We'll finish with it coming back to center. The knee will stay bent as you brush it back to parallel. From the parallel position, rotate the leg in the socket, foot comes underneath, knee side. Pull the knee back to the front, brush back to parallel, repeat. Turning that lock and key, that bowl of punch staying nice and steady this whole time, and hips level. One last time as we brush straight back, rotating open in the socket, knee coming to the side. Finishing with the knee to the front, brushing back to parallel, straightening the leg out, and taking a break. Ian went like super slow-mo here today. And finish up by brushing and then extending. Nice.
Slower is harder. Maybe that was a little bit too slow, but challenge yourself by adjusting the pace of the moves so you can learn and feel a lot. Get your feet in your parallel position. Then from here, go knees over toes. Then straighten out one leg. Then split the distance between 2 feet. If you look below, I bet you your foot could fit right between your heel and your toe on the other side. If so, that's a great position to be, nice and stable. My back leg is my right leg, so I'll take my right arm at the shoulder and bring it towards forward. It could be chest height, but also down on that angle might be more accommodating for your shoulder. Listen and feel, pay attention to your limits, and let's try to improve your ranges. From here, protract the shoulder. Did you rotate right away? So retract that shoulder and let's square up hips, shoulders, and head facing forward. Fasten those seatbelts, meaning this shoulder of mine to that hip, and protract, reaching forward through that armpit. Keep the body stable, then retract the shoulder blade. Same thing. Push through that armpit, reaching that straight arm forward without the rotation. Then retract. For one more time, let's keep square but reach forward. Push through that armpit. Then can the head stay square center with those hips, but open through the rib cage? Protract the shoulder just that little bit extra. Then rotate. Fasten that seatbelt, square up the rib cage, then retract the shoulder, and then step off that back leg, pushing through and standing tall. All back up. Same thing other side. So a leg out front on that plie style movement, and then standing tall between 2 feet. The arm reaches forward. Protract forward. Was the rib cage stable? Retract. Then fasten that seatbelt, ensuring that the hips, shoulders, and head stay forward. And through that armpit shoulder, right here, reach forward, and then retract. Repeat. Fasten those seatbelts. It's just that arm moving in the shoulder, but driven through the shoulder blade in the back. And then retract. For one last time, we'll protract, reaching forward. Then rotate. Head and hips stay forward, rib cage or T-spine might open. Protract just that little bit extra. Then rotate back to center, fastening the seatbelt. Then retract the shoulder, step through, return the arm to your side, and shake, and reset. Sumo squats. Let's get it going. Start with your feet in our first position. From here, step out, perhaps 2 shoulder widths of yours to assemble your position here. Push your feet out, squeeze your butt cheeks, extending those hips. Then pull the feet together. Hopefully there's too much friction on your floor, but increase the adduction tension. Keep pulling, and this time we'll get towards our low squat. Hang out, breathe. Your low, not Lauren's low necessarily, but your low. Then from there, press out, extending those hips. Let's repeat that 2 more repetitions. Feel that preloader pull in for stability, control the descent, and then from here, core brace, push the feet out, extending those hips. Repeat 1 last time as we pull in first, then descend in that down phase of the squat. Take a breath in, brace your core, and push down to stand up. Heel toes together, a little bit of a shake out there. And Lauren, for the plank.
Okay, we'll go back to the first way we folded today, which was a fold. So with those feet underneath you, the head reaches gently up to the sky, and then the chin tucks to stack. The chin keeps tucking. Once the chin can no longer tuck, we start rounding through that neck, upper back. We keep those blades together as we try to flex the spine forward. And then we have that low back round. Shifting the weight to the forefoot, just hang out for a couple seconds. Maybe you have that slight bend in the knees or the straight knees as you hang out. Then from here, we're going to walk ourselves out to that high plank position. We're going to do 2 in a row because Ian always requests that I do 2. So let's do 2 here. Butt squeeze, core brace, shoulders pull. For 5 seconds, pull your right hand to your right foot. 4, 3, 2. Now do that on your left side for 5, 4, 3, 2. Place your knees down. Gently tilting your tailbone to the ceiling. Push forward to rock your hips back. Hang out for a second. This is also our squat position. From here, we're going to pull on the floor and pull ourselves back up to that plank. So start pulling with straight arms, engaging those lats and knees lift off of the floor. Same thing, but now you're pulling right and left at the same time. Go. 10, right to right, left to left. Keep breathing. Keep squeezing your butt. Keep pulling. Keep breathing for 4, 3, 2. Now tip the tailbone to the ceiling, lifting the hips. Press the heels down as you walk your hands back. Get to that forward fold position again, and then engage the front and back core to stack up to tall. Head should be last to come up. Nice.
The wiggles to help reset. Sumo squats improve that range of motion and functional lifts for at home, and the Shiko is a fun weight transfer to add on to that movement. Let's pull in, pull yourself low. Then this time as we stand up, transition to 1 foot. Then reach and toe ball heel on the landing and power, own that balance. Then point, toe ball heel on the landing. Repeat, stay low at that ankle or climb towards the knee and point, toe ball heel on the landing. Power up, climb as allowed and point and toe ball heel. Again, stay low, climb a little, and maybe even break some of those rules in the ballet. As we straighten and toe ball heel and power up on the other side. Climb, then break some of those ballet rules. Reach those hips, point, toe ball heel. 1 more time each side. Climb the leg, reach, keep those hips extended through, and land. And last one here, climb. Hips forward, leg to straight, toe ball heel, and power up. And then wiggle back in.
So we got to the floor the first time in our fold. This time we'll get there in our hinge. So with those feet slightly wider than the hips, tilting the tailbone slightly to the ceiling, but keep the core brace as you press your hips back to that hinge position. From here, we will have to ditch our hinge and tip forward, walking back out to that high plank. Scoop the hips under, brace, breathe, right hand to left hip for 5, 4, 3, 2, left hand to right hip for 5, 4, 3, 2, knees come down. If you can manage, widen your knees just slightly. Keep the toes tucked. Tilt the tailbone to the ceiling. Push forward to rock yourself back. Again, this is like your squat position.
Ooh,
breathe.
Reminiscent of the frog, Lauren.
Yeah, hold. Then we're going to pull back through that high plank, and you may have to step your feet in again. So pull, adjust as needed. Here we go, both at the same time. Right to left, left to right, right to left, left to right. 8, squeeze your butt. Right to left, left to right. Breathe. Right to left, left to right. 5, 4, 3, 2, tilt towards the ceiling, lifting the hips, pressing the heels back as you walk, bending the knees to load up that hinge position, and then drive the hips through, standing up tall. Woo. Excellent.
Lauren's going to keep it for one more moment as she shares us with the movement clocks, and then back to me for more push-up inspired movements on those wrists.
We're going to do our 2 weight transfer balances today. So let's start with, I just got thinking, we already did our lateral transfers a bit in those sumos. So I'm going to change my mind. With our feet underneath us, our standing leg is going to bend and the other leg is going to point out front to noon on the clock. From there, pull both legs underneath, extending those hips. Let's change legs and do the same thing. Knee towards over toe, point to noon on the clock, and then pull everything together. Go back to that first leg, knee towards over toe. This time we point to 10 or 2. And then zip together. Transfer that weight to the second leg, knee towards over the toe, but to 10 or 2. And pull up tall. Change legs again. Reach out to the side, knee towards over toe, staying stacked. Tap and pulling under. There's no transfer here, so we're just tapping that leg to the side, barely touching the floor with it, and then all the way underneath. Now we're going back to 8 or 4 o'clock, so knee towards over the toe. Tap towards that 4 o'clock position and grow to tall. Same thing on that other side. Tap towards that 4 o'clock position or 8 o'clock and then back up. And last one, knee towards over toe with that 6 o'clock right behind us. And then roll over the foot as you press to tall. And last time to 6 o'clock behind us, knee towards over the toe. And then extend those hips through to tall. We'll transfer forward back after some push-ups.
After some push-up inspired movements, that's right. Let's get to the floor utilizing that hinge first. That's fresh in our mind. Chop the hips, push the feet out to create that tension and stability. Then break some of those rules as you tip forward, hands to the floor, and we'll be on all 6 points, being hands, knees, and feet here in a crawl position. Let's continue that exploration of the shoulders. From here, elevate the shoulders in the shrug pattern, bringing the shoulder blades to the ears. Then if you press into the floor, that's that protraction shape, pushing forward, rounding the shoulder blades on the ribs. Then stiffen the elbows and pull the shoulder blades to the hips instead, which is down. Then finish pinching that $1 million bill between the blades in retraction. Same effort, same direction. Elevate, shrug. Push into the floor. Pull the shoulder blades down and then retract. From that retracted position, let's switch our direction. So now reach down to the hips, push into the floor, elevate to the ears, finish in retraction. One last time, pull down to the hips, push into the floor, elevate like a shrug, and retract. Then push the hands away, extending those hips. No rules, up anyhow you can from this position. Lunges are appropriate, size of sits, to tall stands, whatever works. Shake it out. One more movement weight transfer here.
All right, forward, backward. This one's a toughie. With your feet underneath you in that V-leg position, point a leg to the side, and then draw that quarter circle around to the front. Make sure you're not too far away from each other. That'll make this transfer even harder. So with flat feet right now, gripping the floor, push off your back leg and find a balance on that front whole foot. And hold, try to stay square forward for 3, 2, then toe, ball, heel, push off the front leg to find a balance on that back leg. And hold for 3, 2, now toe ball, heel that front foot down. Once it's down, push into the floor to find your demi-point balance on your tiptoes. Hold this, keeping the knees nice and straight. Either stay here or return to the flat foot, but again, push off that back leg and find a front foot balance. And hold. Maybe you don't lift that big toe off the back foot, and that's okay for 3, 2, then toe ball that back foot down, push off the front foot to find that back leg in balance. Find that stability, stay stacked, engage the core and the glutes for 3, 2, then toe ball that front foot down so you're back in between both feet. Keep the knees straight as the heels connect. Push off that front foot, pulling the leg back under. Take a second. Same thing on the other side. Point the leg out, draw that quarter circle to the front, toe, ball, heel. Push off the back leg to find that front foot stacked position and balance hold for 3, 2, then toe, ball, heel, push off the front leg to find the back leg balance holding for 3, 2, then toe, ball, heel. Now you're in between those 2 feet, push down, find your balance. 3, 2, either stay or go back to the flat feet, push off the back foot, find your front foot balance, holding for 3, 2, then toe ball that back foot down, pushing off of the front foot, staying stacked on underneath or over top of that back leg for 3, 2, then toe ball, knees stay nice and straight, heels come down, push off the front leg, close the leg underneath. Woo, good.
Woo is right. We love sharing those toe balances online and in studio, and we often preface it with saying, it's taken us 4 years to gain the confidence to share that with you. Those are so simple movements, but definitely not easy. Let's get back to the floor. We'll get on all 6 points and stay there if that's for you, or hover the knees, challenge those shoulders. Let's do the shoulder blade stuffs one more time. Fold, hinge, get to the floor. Lauren and I will utilize that fold. It starts with the head, neck. The shoulders are back. Push your feet into the floor for that stability. Flex the spine for suppleness. Bend the knees as you need to accommodate. Then hands to the ground. Assemble on all 6 points here. If you're interested to lift the knees, I'd recommend pushing the floor forward through the hands, push the feet back, and compress those femurs into the hip sockets. If they're off, then at that place, you might load up leaning over the wrists. Retract the shoulders from here, elevate as a shrug, push into the floor, protracting, and depress or down next. Retract, elevate, protract forward, pull down to the hips, finish in retraction, then push the floor away, extend through the hips, and shake. It's a lot more work if your knees are elevated. Let's try that one more time, switching the direction. So it's together, down, forward, up. Repeat one more time. Hands to the floor. If you're interested to lift the knees, it's pushing hands forward, pushing feet back to compress the femurs and the hips. Then lean over the wrists if you can. We're pulling the shoulder blades together. Then this time they'll go down to the hips first, press into the floor, elevate the shoulder, retract one more time, down to the hips, stiff arms, into the floor with stiff arms, elevate the shoulders, retract, then knees down,
Pull down.
push the floor away, and then shake it out. Lauren did her lunge last time. Maybe switch your foot, do the same thing, or toe squat style. Stand up and reset. Shake it out. That concludes today's practice of restore and recharge with our body weight and our bars and our best friends in the audience out here, as well as right next to me with Lauren. I'm Ian.
I'm Lauren. Thanks for joining us today. And tomorrow morning, we're here at 8 a.m. live to play with our strength. We'll get warmed up and then we'll crawl around and maybe end upside down, only if you want to.
Little handstands.
The morning routine is always on Sundays or morning, evening, afternoon, any time of day.
In the archive.
Check it out. Thanks for becoming a member. My name's Lauren. He's Ian. We said that already. Have a great day. Take care. Stay strong. And we'll train soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.